just wanted to bring you an Authortube video. This one's going to be the Author Newbie Tag. It was started by JennaTheDarkOne, and I'll be doing it just to introduce myself to the community and say hi to everybody. How did you find out about Authortube? I found out about Authortube through Natalia, Leigh, and Rachael Stefan. I was looking for videos back in Preptober last year, and I stumbled upon their channels. What genres do you write in? Usually I write in sci-fi fantasy, but I've also written paranormal and romance and post-apocalyptic, so I've kind of written all over the board. Depending on what the story needs, I'll write whatever. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? Right now, I really like writing in past tense, third person limited, just because it lets me get into my characters' heads a little better. I've also written first person and present tense, but I'll really write whatever the story needs for it to be a good story. Are you a plotter, plantser, or pantser? I generally call myself a plantser because I like to have a little bit of an outline and still have the creative freedom to let my character surprise me and let me not know where I'm going completely. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? So I was originally published by the Lake Winnipeg Writers Group in their Voices journal, and since then I have self-published some of my short stories and plan to likely self-publish a novel in the near future. What publishing company, literary agent, and/or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not published yet, what is your dream publishing house or literary agent? Honestly, I don't really have a dream publisher or literary agent because I could never see anyone but myself publishing my work. What Authortube related videos can we expect on your channel? In the future, you can expect to see some more tag videos, some stuff up about my works in progress, and also my process on how I go about writing. When did you start writing? I've been writing for as long as I can remember, but for sure it was when a friend of mine and I were passing these Star Wars comics we would make back and forth. I guess that could also be considered my first collaborative effort. What was the first story you ever wrote? Other than that comic, I think the first story I ever wrote was about this other dimension in anarchy where a queen of evil ruled and she was a badass. That I wrote a few years later when I was in junior high. What authors have inspired your writing the most? I would have to say Catherine Smith and C.S. Lewis. Let the Night Begin was probably the first book I read by Catherine Smith. It's a vampire historical romance set in Victorian London, and it introduced me to historical fiction and romance in a way that actually surprised me. To this day, I've probably read this book more than any other. C.S. Lewis is my other inspirational author. The Chronicles of Narnia was the first series I ever read, and it really pulled me in a direction of urban fantasy and multiple dimensions. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find time? Generally, I write when I can find time, but I try to work on something writing related at least once a day, if not actual writing for 5 minutes or so. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? Where do you write in general? So I write everything out by hand using my smart pen, which then transcribes it so I can edit it later on the computer. Writing by hand lets me write wherever, so I don't really have one spot that I sit. I'm on my couch a lot, or I'm in my bed, or outside, just everywhere. What are you most looking forward to now that you are a part of Authortube? I'm really looking forward to meeting other authors and seeing how other people go about doing their writing. The community seems like it's really good and really close-knit. So that's it for now, guys. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Head over to my Patreon to check for new stuff over there. There's always new content going up. All of my links are down below. I'll include JennaTheDarkOne, who was the original creator of this tag, as well as Natalia and Rachael, who I mentioned earlier in the video. Thank you all for welcoming me to the community, and I'll see you all later. Bye!